Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers, where if you're not watching this show, I apologize. You are already behind, but today, a little late start as we get the day started on a Friday, and I am back from vacation. And unfortunately, where we gain one person, we lose another. And we lost Mark today, not to anything extreme except for a little sickness, and he is completely under the weather and definitely sleeping right now. And so we had to make adjustments, and I was coming back in town today. And so because of that, I was able to run home as quickly as possible. I literally just walked in the door 10 to 15 minutes ago. We unloaded the car from being out in Florida, and it was an incredible vacation. But happy to be back with you all and hanging out with us. But thank you all for watching Weekday Wagers and making us a part of your day. We are live normally Monday through Friday and live at 2 p.m. Eastern. Well, 2 hour setback because I was getting in 2 hours after. And so we're starting a little bit late on the show if you're watching live, just because I got in town late. And so that's the whole reason. This will be a shorter show than normally on a Friday, as it's just Robbie and I. We're going to go through our full 12-pack of plays. That way it'll get you ready for Friday and then carry to Saturday and then Sunday as you continue on your weekend. We'll discuss some college football, discuss some NFL football. We'll give you our saloon shot where you can put your player in the chat. It's got to be a plus 1,000 or more play. It could be up to 4 on a parlay, or it could be like we all do and take our shot with the first touchdown, whoever in whatever game we want. Dealer's choice. You can pick whatever game and you can get a plus 1,000 first touchdown. And that's what we all do. Mark put in his plays as well as his 4 plays he added. So it's a lot that's happening. And then don't forget the NFL Overdrive, where we had a winner. We got beat last week. We don't have Mark's plays just yet, but I know that he'll have his uploaded eventually throughout the show. So that is a full jam-packed show. I can promise you that. But we're going to speed through and make this a little bit shorter than normal on a Friday. But let's go ahead and look how the guys did yesterday. And not every show cashes like we do. Not every show gets the 2 check marks and goes 100%. There's other shows out there, they'll hide behind it. Not us. We're going to stay in front of it. We might suck some days, but I promise you, if you hang with us and you hang with us on multiple days, if you go to justthatsports.com, you can cash multiple units every day with Robbie Hockey, who we have right here. So let's bring in the guy. What up, Rob?
What's up, man? Welcome back. Good to see you. Hope Mark is feeling better. Somebody said something about him fixing his hair. He's probably got nothing but bad head right now. So feel better, Mark.
Yeah, I think I called it. We were on through text, and I'm on the ride home, and I'm getting there, and I was like, you know what? I haven't heard from Mark in like over an hour. Like, what? I know he said he is not feeling well, and he know he has a big sickness, whatever. But I was like, man, Robbie, all right, what's going on? Is Mark okay? Have you heard from him? I haven't heard from him, and so we figured that it was he was sicker than we expected. So anyway, we're getting this thing going, and we're going to continue to roll. But listen, let's go ahead and we're gonna break this show up a little differently, and going forward, once Mark gets back here next Friday. We're going to break this up to a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we're going to sprinkle our plays throughout the entire show. That way it doesn't seem like it's just so front loaded with all of our picks. I know everybody wants to hang out with us, so we're going to hang out with you as we talk through some of these games. Let's talk about this first game. And you see the graphic on the screen, Robbie, and it's Tennessee and it's Alabama. This line has been moving all over the place, but we're talking at least a touchdown spread. I believe it was up to 8.5 at one point. Do you know if it's still there?
I don't. I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, interesting game. You know, as we both live in Tennessee, I know Tennessee fans hate Florida, but there's a special hate for Alabama. Let's see. We're getting it pulled up now. So Doink still has it at minus 8.5.
Okay.
As of right now.
Do you like Tennessee? Because yes, they're going to Alabama, but do you like Tennessee to stay within a touchdown? Because that's where I'm leaning, and I don't know if that's the realistic part of it. I just think that's way too many points, even though Alabama has been playing well. I think it's way too many points for sure.
Agreed. And Tennessee has the talent to stick with them, if not cover, even, somehow win that game as well. Vandy hung with them for a little bit, and then the wheels fell off. Georgia, is another game where Alabama ended up taking it over. I think Tennessee has a shot to at least stay in it and cover that 8.5.
Yeah, I think so too, and that's kind of where I lay because at that point you're talking about a full touchdown. I think that within football we see these teams cover late on these touchdown spreads because you kick a field goal or you score a late touchdown to get it within one score game, and because you get 8.5, that means that they're willing to go for it and they're within 8. That's still a one score game. 8.5 just screams to me that somehow we're going to see Bama just completely just blow their doors off, and that's how it's going to end up being. But if it isn't, I think it all plays out like normal. I think they can stay within that. And so I like that for sure. All right, let's go to the other game, and that's the big game in the SEC. And it is Ole Miss taking on Georgia. This is a touchdown spread, 7.5, wherever you can find it. Do you like anything there on either side?
I think Lane Kiffin is auditioning for his new job at the University of Florida, so they're going to be playing all out to try to win that game. Here's what I hope. I hope Lane Kiffin goes all the way, wins the Natty, and then the next day he turns around and goes to Gainesville. That would just be a Lane Kiffin thing to do.
I hope.
But yes, listen, I do think they're competitive. Yes,
I would hope that happens one way or another. Please let that happen because, as we both know, Florida is expected to get rid of Billy after this weekend. And so I know you're happy. We won't get into that because we won't want to completely just have a celebration. But I know you're excited. I'm excited. We need to move on from there. But yes. I having Lane Kiffin in Florida would be pretty awesome. But he just came out and said that he's not going to move or do anything, turn down other jobs because he's in Ole Miss. His daughter's at Ole Miss. She likes him there. And he's now a family man and all that kind of good stuff. I think things can change. And I think money talks for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And he probably wants to go somewhere where they actually sell out and show up to games. Last week was pretty terrible, and he even called his fans out. After a sloppy win, he's still mad. So that's one other thing to look at, too.
All right. Well, that's going to be your little college football that we're discussing. We have so many normal OGs here. We also have new people like Spell Dog. He's been here before, I believe, but now at our new home within our Weekday Wagers channel. Spell Dog is here as well as Rich Maybe. And so there's so many people here. We love seeing all the OGs that we normally knew. And now they're kind of sprinkling back here in our new home. And we love to see that. Sometimes something bad can be a blessing in disguise. So we love that we're doing new things at our own channel. And we do appreciate everybody for tuning in. But those are the college football talk. Let's go ahead and get into our plays. And I know you have a play on Friday, as well as Marky Model has a play. So let's start off with Mark. Yeah, he has the Hurricanes, and he thinks they roll. We're going to go with the team total over the 31.5. And he's talked about, and he completely broke this down. But what I will share with Mark's picks, the full explanation will be at justicetatsports.com. He'll have all of that up. I promise you that. So if you want a full breakdown of what he wants and what he thinks, then you want to go there. But in all honesty, he gave it to us. The biggest thing that popped out to me with this one is they've scored 26 points in every game this season. So no matter if they go against a Florida team that is really good defensively or these other teams that they've been playing, I think getting over 31.5 at minus 111 is a great number. It is moving, so you better go run and go get it. How are your thoughts on the Canes tonight?
No, I agree. I think they're one of the top 4 teams in college football right now. That defensive line is stout. They're going to give Louisville problems, and they're coming off a bye. So coming off a bye week, feeling good about themselves, I think they can get that easily.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go to your play next. Let's go ahead and see what you got.
Yeah, so we're going to stay on the ice tonight. We're going to go a little point parlay. Dylan Gunther and Matt Boldy. Look, these are 2 guys who've been on fire as of late. Matt Boldy, he has a goal in 4 goals and 4 assists in 4 games to start the year. So you hear a lot more about Kirill Kaprizov, but Matt Boldy's been just as effective. I've got him for a point tonight. They're playing Washington. He has 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 games against the Caps. And then Gunther's also started the season hot, cooled off a little bit after scoring 2 goals in his first 2 games. But if you didn't know, San Jose sucks. They're a leaky defense. They're a mammoth. They're back at home again for their second game at home. I think Gunther even scores a goal tonight. He has scored 3 straight games or three straight goals against the Sharks. I like his anytime goal profit plus 155 as well.
All right, so go ahead and get that in. Whether we're going to go football or we're going ice hockey, And yes, I did see the shot that Mark took at me about his other Canes that he took over my Ducks last night. But I have something coming, and it's a special, special thing that I will show whenever it arrives. But I ordered it right after I saw that. I might have had a lot of beverages, and I saw my notification this morning of what I bought. But it is Anaheim Ducks apparel, and I will make sure I have them for one of these next shows that's coming up. But let's look at these real quick. We have a question there from Rich Maybe is, do you like the full game over there in the Hurricanes going against Louisville? I know me and you are neither that, but 49.5 is that number. And I just looked over at justicestatsports.com. They has Miami scoring 41.4 points, and that is to Louisville's 18. So that would fly on that over. Do you like them to roll tonight, especially get some points going?
I do, and I think just the model has it pretty on point. I don't see Louisville scoring 20 plus, but I can't think they can get to 15 to 18, and I definitely think Miami can get to that 41. As he already put out there, 31.5 is his play. I think they cover that easily. I don't mind the full over in that game. As you said, though, overs, money lines, that's not my jam on these plays. So,
and Mark has been crushing it. His picks crushed last night as well, and so we're gonna. So we're going to keep this thing going. Hopefully he picks other teams that aren't going against Anaheim. I would appreciate that. But we do have Taj that likes Texas this weekend at minus 12.5. We're going to get into some Saturday football coming up. But then Nonsense McGee, thanks for hanging out with us, Nonsense. You met Mark. You might want to check, make sure you're not sick. That's what I will do. But he laddered up on Miami tonight based on the JTS model. And so if you want to go over the 30.5, 34.5 to plus 120, over 39.5, plus 240, man, ride that thing up. As we said, it's 41.4 is the prediction. But let's go ahead and go to Saturday, because I know we talked some football already, and I don't want to continue onto that because we do have NFL. This is a shorter show. I have to go pick up my dog that's at the dog place that watches them all week, whatever it's called. Rough Country is what the name of it is. It's not
hell
rough.
of a name.
Yeah, not rough out there. I promise you, that dog's probably getting spoiled more than I was on vacation. But we also have the overdrive we're going to get into. Scan the QR code at the top right. And last week, Ryan Meadows, he's actually a friend of mine who I even talked into playing. And he watches this show, periodically. And I sent him and my buddy a text. I was like, hey, sign up for the NFL Overdrive. You can win. I said, you probably won't, but at least you can enjoy seeing yourself lose. And he did. And ended up just spanking me, because you know what he did? He took all unders, and it was the under Sunday, and that's why all he did was took unders. It was
also injured reserve Sunday too, because a lot of our guys on that list went down. So if you took an over, sorry.
Yeah, it was nuts. But yes, go ahead and scan the QR code. I know it is working. I have it live. Robbie helped me with it today, and so it is it's happening. But Ryan is going to get signed up for Justice Stat Sports. He's an NBA guy, and so he should be going. Joe wants to know, where are the results? Well, one thing before I started this and redid it, and I pushed delete on all the responses from last week. Joe, I believe you had 6. RJ had 6, and Ryan had 7. He went 7 of 10. I went 1 of 10, just so we're on the same page. 1 of 10. There's no collusion. It was 1 of 10.
I only got 3. So
you went 3. I think Mark did 3 as well. The worst.
Mark had 5 or 6. I know he was a little bit better than us.
Oh, okay.
Well, unders,
either way, it's gross. All right. Well, let's go ahead and continue on, and we're going to go to Saturday here. As I told you, it's going to be a very sped up process. I'm trying to keep this to a 30-minute show, but we have so much. Let's get to Saturday here. I'm going to start with my picks. We're going to go Texas State at Marshall. And on these two plays, let me just briefly give you both of them at the same time. We're going to go Texas State, Marshall. It's the first half over 32.5 at minus 110. You can find a 33.5 if you like for plus money. I think 32.5, 33.5 is pretty close to the same because you need 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals or more than that, and you're covering that line of 33.5. Same thing for UTSA and North Texas first half over the 33.5 at minus 110. Both of these, Texas State and UTSA, if you've been around for a while, I roll with those teams because they are not good at defense and they are awesome at offense. Both these games are literally 64, 65.5 is the total on the entire game. Both these teams, all four of these teams play well in the first half. So I like all of them to keep rolling in this one. And so I like both these teams in the first half to roll. And I think they're going to roll over the 32.5 and the 33.5. All right, let's go ahead and get to marks here. And I'm going to let you do this one, a little swamp buster, Mississippi State plus 10, minus 110.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them covering. I don't hate them to cover because it is Florida, and we know Florida does Florida things. But there's going to be a funeral this weekend, and all the Florida fans are going to be wearing black, and they're going to be excited to go out there and watch Billy coach his last game. The Mississippi State's defense is really good. They're ranking 38th in points per drive allowed. But Florida also has a really good defense. So I could see them with Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown. I could see them putting up some points on Mississippi State and possibly winning this game, and Napier getting fired. But covering 10, I don't hate that.
Yeah, it would be tough, but knowing that it's his last game, I think they literally throw anything against the wall, and I think they blow their doors off and make them say, fire me. I hope that happens because that's the drama that I enjoy. So I'm not saying go against Mark's pick, but my God, I want to see some drama. And so if you can give me that, I'll take that all day. All right. Well, that is our the Saturday picks. And so the rest is left up for Sunday. And so we'll get into all of our NFL stuff. But Joe and RJ are screaming collusion over here. He said he doesn't trust any of the results. Not with us.
I mean, we give you our plays on the show. It's recorded on video. And you can record your own picks and compare and contrast your plays to ours. It's not collusion. If it was collusion, I would definitely wouldn't have paid DG some money for Ryan this week.
Yeah, I got that. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I've been drinking too because I see the notification about the money I got from you and Mark. I figured we lost at that point. But I will say that I did send out the email that gave everybody their own results, and it told you how well you did. If you, I don't know. I'm just saying I can't help you, but I am trying to figure out. I was out of town. Okay. I wasn't actually, I didn't have cell phone service for half the time. And I know Robbie knows that because I couldn't do anything. But I will say that I tried to send out the results. I'm hoping I can have a different way of showing the results, maybe all of them together. And so it'll show everybody that I guess played along and should show. But I don't know how this works. I'm learning as well. But listen, you had a chance and you didn't take advantage of your chance, Joe. It's over. You're never going to get that chance again. Sorry, because we're doing much better this week. All right. Well, Sunday we do have some games. What is a game that you are looking for, Robbie?
I'm actually excited for the Titans versus the Patriots. I know on paper it looks like it's a crappy match because Vrabel's going back. They fired their head coach, the guy who replaced him. Yeah, I just think it's going to be drama filled. You like drama? It's going to be a drama filled game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it will be that. And we have one of those. We have that game actually on the total. It was interesting enough, and I just picked these on narratives, and so I couldn't figure out how to include Vrabel in that. I was like, you know what? Let's look at the total and see if we can have some fun with that game. And so I'm interested how everyone will do in the overdrive on that game. It's at 42.5 is the number that we have it at. And so I'm curious if people are like, let's slam it, or is it Vrabel saying we're not letting them score? You can go with either side of that for sure. But I'm looking for the Cowboys and the Commanders game. We have now Jaden Daniels coming back, and he is back officially. He sucked the last game. And so I'm curious if he picks up where he was before he got hurt and he starts playing well again. And we have a shootout there in Dallas because we're talking about a Dallas team that can't stop anybody. Trevon Diggs got hurt at his house and is not playing Sunday. He is in concussion protocol. What happened? Did he slip on the soap?
I don't know. Stephon may have slapped him upside the head at some point when they were hanging out. I have no idea. The dude gets hurt walking to the field most of the time. So what a waste of money. You could have spent that money on Micah Parsons. You could have spent all that money on and kept Micah because your defense still sucks. Russell Wilson looked like Patrick Mahomes against you. I think he was playing that game. But even when he does play, he's not what he used to be.
I agree. And so I'm curious how that game goes out. I think that is a game you could look at points. And I know I'm pretty sure Mark has a play on that game. I have a play on that game as well. And so I think you can look at points for sure. And I think you can look at two defenses that are not good, that are going to give up some crazy stats. CD should be coming back. Terry McLaurin, I think he's officially back. He's out?
No, he's out.
Oh, he's back.
No, he is out. Terry McLaurin is out.
He's still out? I thought he was coming back this game.
No, I got the notification. They said he was out.
Oh, wow.
I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure they said he was out.
I was looking at seeing who it was. Let's look at that and see if he's still out, because I thought I'd heard that he was coming back, but he came back last game, correct?
No, he did not. He is out for Sunday's game. Yeah, wow. Terry McLaurin has been ruled out.
That is crazy. All right, well.
It's like Joe said. He was out there working yesterday, but he's still out. I think he was getting some limited reps in practice, but no, he's a no-go.
He hasn't met with the media once. I just read on there. He hadn't met with the media once in the 26 days he's been out. Wow. That's crazy.
Again, paid that guy a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Anytime you pay a receiver and they don't show up, they're going to get hurt. 1, 2, very diva-esque now. And I just so stupid. I would never do that as an owner. I would just, honestly, I'd rather trade them unless they're just that good. Or pay them early. That's the only thing I would do. I'm not going to try to make them hold out. At that point, I just would rather trade you. But we'll see. It's business. I get it. But it's also business for me to make my own decisions. All right. Well, let's get to our Sunday plays. And looks like you're going to start us off on Sunday. What you got?
Yeah, we're going to go Cortland Sutton, 54-plus receiving yards. Put this in early in the week. It's still at 55.5. I love that. I actually love this spot to ladder Cortland Sutton. A lot of it has to do with who he's playing, but a lot of it has to do with Demaryius Thomas is getting inducted into Denver's Hall of Fame on Sunday. And Demaryius was kind of a mentor role to Cortland when he first got to Denver. So I really think Cortland's wanting to go out there this weekend, ball out for his boy, Demaryius Thomas. But if you need some stats, the Giants allow the most receiving yards and the second most targets to the wide receiver position. I love Cortland Sutton. I would ladder this all the way up to 100. Love his anytime touchdown. Basically, any prop you're going to give me on Cortland Sutton, I'm taking it this weekend. Then the other one, we're actually going to take Saquon Barkley, 70-plus rushing yards at minus 135. That number seems juicy, but it's Saquon. And if you can get Saquon for 70-plus, you got to take it. His actual line's around 73.5. I think it's minus 115. So I don't hate that either. But look, the Eagles are in some kind of crisis mode. I know they're having some issues with A.J. Brown. Their offense hasn't gotten rolling. But they're going to have to get the running game going this weekend because Minnesota's secondary is stout. They're one of the stoutest secondaries in the league. Isaiah Rodgers has been locked down. Everybody he's faced, he shut them down. They blitz a lot. I think Saquon can get this done on his legs. I love him to go 70-plus. And his anytime touchdown was minus 115 at Fanatics. Love that as well. I think other places it's minus 130, minus 135.
All right, and we're going to get into theirs, but just speaking of your play we had, Demaryius, they're showing that. So that's why, honestly, I know that's why a lot of it you're playing that Cortland Sutton, because you're talking about, having the feelings, the good feelings on that one for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go with Mark's plays here. We have Ramondre Stevenson over the 45.5 rush yards at minus 108. Do you like this at all for Ramondre?
It's the Titans. And as we know, you play the running backs against the Titans, but it's also the Patriots. Are they going to play Ramondre? Are they going to play Travion? You know my answer to this question. I would have Travion right now all day, every day, other than fumbling Ramondre. So I don't hate it because of who they're playing. The only thing that gives me worries is who's going to get the bulk of the carries, but I do think anybody could get 45.5 on the Titans.
For sure. All right, let's go to the other one. Shootout in Dallas, as we talked about it already. Mark's going with the Commanders team total over the 26.5 at minus 125. I don't love it at all. I don't know if they even score because it's the Cowboys. They have a vaunted defense. They're really good. And I think that they hold them. It might be 40-0. Screw the Commanders. I hope they don't score. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I agree with you 100%. But if I have to put my money on that, I'm going to go the opposite of you and say, yes, they cover 26.5 very easily, probably by halftime, considering how bad our defense is.
Well, we do have Miss Kim White talking about Zach Ertz. He has been questionable and is still questionable. Any word on him? Do you know if he could be playing? Because obviously a questionable tag this late in the week can be very dangerous for Sunday.
If I've got the notification, I haven't checked that one.
Okay.
I know that he was questionable, but if he plays, him and Jaden Daniels should have a good day. Zach Ertz always does well against us, no matter who he plays for. So,
100%.
And I'm playing Miss Kimberly in fantasy, so I'm sure Zach Ertz and Jaden Daniels will go off.
No doubt. All right, well, that should be a good game and definitely a shootout for sure. And Texas Joel's here saying, "Go Cowboys!"
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. We need them to win. We can't lose to everybody. At least we beat the Giants. Thank God it was Russell Wilson. Whatever, made him look like a superstar. All right, well, I'm going to go with my Sunday play here. I'm going to go with the Colts and Chargers, and both of these. I want to attack these games, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to put this play in because I really like both these games for all 4 kickers. But really, I'm hitching my wagon here on the Colts side. Michael Badgley, he's been very good and was 1 for 1, had a lot of extra points last week. The Chargers have a really good defense. I think he kicks 2 field goals. But I also look on the other side is Cameron Dicker, who he has been red hot lately, and I think he could kick 2 field goals. And so because of that, I didn't know which one to attack, and I will have plays on these guys individually more than likely. But I went ahead and attacked just the total field goal yards on the over. It's at 135.5 at -115. And so I look at both guys at being good defenses. They're going to hold them at some point during this game. And so I think we have at least 4 total field goals kicked in this game. Because of that, I think they fly over this yardage. I think we can still get there even with 3. Speaking of only getting there with 3, I think that by himself, Brandon Aubrey could do this again. Both of these games that we're looking at are both indoors. How I like indoor games for field goal kicking. This game is a little smaller at 125.5. We're talking about Brandon Aubrey, who can kick it from the moon. He can go over 125.5 himself. They're kicking a ton of field goals in Dallas. Washington, they're going to kick at least 1 with Matt Gay going against the Cowboys. And so because of that, 3 catches us on the over with our Mr. Legatron himself. It is Brandon Aubrey time. We're going to go over the 125.5 at -115. All right, so Robbie's got 2 more, or actually 1 more play for you here on a.
Yeah, they're going to go Jonathan Taylor, 70 rushing yards, anytime touchdown, +105. Got this at Bet365. Jonathan is the best running back in the league right now. He's rushed for over 603 yards and 8 touchdowns, with 4 of those touchdowns coming in his last 2 games. He's averaging 5.2 yards per carry and seeing an average of 19.2 rush attempts per game. He's playing the Chargers this weekend, and like we said last week, target Devon Achane because he is going to run wild on the Chargers, and run wild he did. He went for over 100 rushing and receiving with 2 touchdowns. The week before, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a.k.a. Bill, did the same thing, 100+ and 2 touchdowns. So you're telling me if those 2 guys can get 2+ touchdowns and over 100 rushing and receiving, Jonathan Taylor can definitely get 70 rushing yards and a touchdown this weekend. His anytime touchdown prop is actually -150 at Bet365. That is juiced. I normally wouldn't play a -150. But if you're looking for some parlays, you can't go wrong with JT to score a touchdown. -150 is a hell of a leg to put on a parlay.
I love some JT. But he is running crazy. He is the best running back in the game right now for sure. All right. Well, speaking of best in the game, that's our guy, Bassett Splints, Seabass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
That is our proud sponsor of our wagers. And so Seabass is always going to be in that spot for sure. All right, let's keep this thing going as we always do, because you got your 12-pack of plays. But as I said, we're rolling through and I'm already late on this. So I got to keep speeding through here because we got our saloon shot. right, we're looking at who's in the saloon, and yes, I was the latest person to get in. So go ahead and put in your plus 1,000 or more play, and you can enjoy a little saloon shot with us. But if you're watching this afterwards, if you want to, you can go ahead and put it into the comments after the show has aired. I know we're on a different time. I get it. But we're going to make sure that we include everybody. But if you're watching live, go ahead and put your plus 1,000 play in the show now. But Robbie, I'm going to let you start us off. Who you got?
Yeah, we're going to go to a little double H, Hunter Henry. This should be a fun game to watch. Like I said, there's a lot of drama in this game, but I'm going with my guy double H. He has a 35% target share in the red zone, higher than anybody on his team. I think the next best is Stephon Diggs at 20%. Michael Mayer for the Raiders last week scored first against Tennessee. So let me see double H do it this week and get me in the saloon for a second time.
Little double H, not triple H, but double H. I'm going to go with the Rook. I'm going to go Tyler Warren. First touchdown there in the game. I know that there was a stat that you heard or saw. It was from the professor there on social media, but he does a lot in the first quarter. And so I think that we could get Tyler Warren the first touchdown. I believe he did it last week, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. Yeah, and that stat is, and I'm playing it myself. I didn't put it on the site because honestly, it's not my play. Professors want to come up with it, not stealing his thunder. But I think his line is 9.5 receiving yards in the first quarter. That will definitely be a play of mine this weekend because it's been nothing but cash. And he's had like 30 plus in every game but one in the first quarter.
For sure. All right. Well, I'm going to let you give out Alad McConkey, a little bulked up for Mark. What's he playing?
Yeah, so little lad, I think he's going to get in first as well. These are actually, I didn't talk to either one of you guys, and these were two guys I actually had on my list when I was looking at this. But he's one of the only guys left standing in LA, right? So they have no offensive line. They can't cover the run game. But if they get the ball first, I could see Ladd going deep on this Indies defense and getting in there.
For sure. And I think Ladd has a big chance to get in, especially early. So, yes, Joe. Joe's asking, are all of these exactly plus 1,000? Yes. I looked on mine. Mine's on DraftKings at plus 1,000. And so you can find out, Joe, if you need to guess our work and I guess make sure we get it. But yes, I don't think Mark's never getting to the saloon. That's okay. I believe he's in a lounge somewhere, but he's not in the saloon. And that's all that matters. So, but we do have our NFL overdrive that we want to make sure that we get into. And I have yet to do this myself. I try to look at these a little ahead of time. I do pick them, but I actually didn't look at the stats. And so I'm going to be doing all these kind of off of the whim as well. The whim, off the whim. Yes. But let's go ahead and go into it. Let's see if we can do something different this week. We got to have some music. Think this music works? Oh, that's, anybody remember that music? I had to sing a song. What about this one? Okay. I think we got that one. That's the Walks Parlay. You remember that? I had to sing that. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to eat a hot chip? I'd have trade you.
I would eat a hot chip over doing that stupid thing. It was horrible.
I'd spit some M&M real quick before I'd eat a hot chip.
Scott, hey, this is one for you. Scott says Andres Gimenez?
I think it's Jimenez.
Jimenez. It's Andres Jimenez. Jimenez. What an idiot.
Me and my pronunciation of MLB players continues.
Yeah.
Better
than my NHL one.
Kale maker.
Yeah.
I about wrecked after I heard you say it. Look, Jimenez. I'm just gonna call him Jimenez. Has 2 home runs. He has 2 home runs in his last 2 games, so I don't hate it. Could be worse.
All right. Well, we'll see, but we're gonna go ahead and get to these for sure. But we do have a submission here. Do you like this? Saquon Barkley, Jordan Mason, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Jefferson. Anytime touchdown, anytime the game at a plus 21-27.
So you're saying play the over in that Phillies-Minnesota game.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they all have pretty decent matchups on paper. I don't hate that.
All right. Well, we're going to get to it right now as we're going to get through the NFL overdrive. All right. I finally got all these put in, and I can be done stalling just enough. Like I said, we're trying, okay? We're trying to get this thing done. It's been a complete rush. So let's go ahead and do this thing, and let me know if you like the music. I'm going to get different music for sure. But I would like to see if you can hear the music. If you do hear the music, we can keep rolling with it. I think it would be a good time, we'll say. So Let's keep this thing rolling. All right, let's start off with a little NFL overdrive. And so the first one, and I will lead us off. I'm going to go Rashid Rice, 59.5 receiving yards. First game back. I know they want to get him into it, but maybe they're going to take it a little easy. I'm going to go on the under here.
I'm going over. I think they're going to get him in there, and what a good team to do it against, though, the Las Vegas Raiders. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the over for that one.
All right, next one is we're going to start with you on this one. We're going to go Panthers against the Jets. Who do you like?
Pre-Garrett Wilson injury, I would have said the Jets, but with no Garrett Wilson and only Mason Taylor catching passes, I think the Panthers get it done.
I'm going to ride with you the same thing. I think the Panthers get it done as well. I think that they are a much better team than the Jets. All right, we're going this one here, and I'm going to go Jalen Hurts, 204.5 pass yards. Jalen Hurts sucks, okay? I'm not going to ever go with him. I'm going on the under 204.5 pass yards because his receivers don't like him because he doesn't throw the ball.
Look, man, I'm going against the grain. The stats and analytics probably say stay under, but this is one of those where if I play the under, he's going to get 300 plus. He's gotten over this in 3 of his last 4. Give me the over for Jalen Hurts.
All right, you lead us off with this one with a little Quinshawn Judkins, 99.5 rush yards. Does Judkins go for 100 on the ground?
He absolutely does because the Miami Dolphins rush defense suck. The wind's going to be blowing 40 to 50 miles per hour on Sunday. It's going to be a dreadful game to watch. But they have given up 519 rushing yards in 4 games. Yes, he gets 100.
What'd you say? I think you said the Dolphins suck. Yes, he goes for 100 yards on the ground for sure. All right, let's go to Rome Odunze. 69.5 receiving yards. This one was a tough one. I didn't know which direction to go. Who are they playing this week?
The Bears are playing the Saints.
The Saints. The Saints aren't bad. I just want everybody to know that. You would think Saints, Aints. I'm going to go under the 69.5 receiving yards for Odunze.
Yeah, I'm going to go over, but I don't like it. Odunze should have been over this in a lot of games. But Caleb Williams is more worried about doing his nails than throwing him the ball, so he overthrows him a lot. I think he might actually hit the receiver this week. Give me the over.
Yeah, well, don't break your nails. You can't break your nails if you just don't throw the ball, right? So maybe he hands it off. Didn't hurt himself.
Right.
All right, we're going to start with you on this one. This is your Mike Vrabel revenge game. Patriots, Titans. Total is 42.5.
I love the over. I think New England could get 30 on their own, and they'll let the Titans do some garbage time work. Give me the over.
All right, I am going to actually go the same way. I'm going to go the over on this game just because instead of letting them score, you just put it on them. And I think that this team knows he wants to pay them back any chance he can. And I think that they put up like a 40 spot on the Titans that big because he's petty too. All right, Tyler Warren. We talked about him earlier. I do have him on my first touchdown score. Tyler Warren is an animal. 59.5 receiving yards. You could have made this 79.5. I would have still played it. I'm going to go over.
Yeah, dude is a machine. I know the Chargers are good against the tight end, but this game is going to be a lot of focusing on JT. I see a lot of play action. I see a lot of checkdowns to Warren. I'm going to go over.
All right. We're going to let you start off with this one. I'm going to see how you play it. Will Lutz, 7.5 kicking points. He plays for Denver, just so we're on the same page. How does he go in this game?
Oh, Lutz the klutz. I like the over. Denver's offense will stall out a lot, which is going to let Lutz kick a lot of home field goals. Give me the over.
All right. Well, I like them as well. I think he's going to go over. I thought I would play the under because they don't do enough. Because that 8th one is tough. The 8th one is really tough. I think Lutz has been really good this season. I'm going to go on the over.
The Giants, though. It's the Giants. Got to remember.
The Giants suck, right? So it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
All right, Josh Jacobs, 99.5 rushing plus receiving yards. This guy is an animal coming off of a bye where they tied against the Cowboys. I think he crushes them.
You were on vacation when he was on his bye. You were on vacation. He came back last week.
I don't remember.
I agree, though. Take the over. He's got 150 plus in his last 2 weeks. Yeah, give me the over.
Yes, I told you. I watched zero football. I watched nothing. I was literally on the beach enjoying myself. All right, you start this one because I've completely screwed it up so much. You go CeeDee Lamb, 73.5 receiving yards, over or under?
This is the one and only under I am taking on this week. I think a high ankle sprain is something hard to come back from. I see him more as a decoy this weekend, so give me the under.
Wow, I was shocked. All right, well, because you went under, because I was torn, I'm going to go over. Why not?
Okay.
Let's have some fun, and I'll go opposite of you. I'm going to go over on that one. So that is the NFL Overdrive. We'll find out what Mark's doing. He said, Joe said I didn't make a Jacobs pick. I said over. Over. He's going over. If I didn't, now I have. But thanks for thanks for calling me out for sure. But yes, in the end of the day, Hurts is never going to be better than Dak. I'm sorry. I think Jalen Hurts isn't good. All right, that's the full show. Go ahead and scan the QR code in the top right. You can go ahead and let us know that you're playing. People have already put in their submissions. I'm seeing them on the far right. So thank you for putting those in already. But you have all the way until kickoff on Sunday to get yours in. And remember, the earlier you do it, you have the third tiebreaker. If for some reason it does come to that, you have that third tiebreaker just because you put it in earlier. All right. That is all we got for today. What's your weekend like, Rob?
I am coaching 2 soccer games. Was supposed to have little Finn's birthday tomorrow, but he has come down with some kind of funk, so we're going to move it to next weekend. So just going to love on Finn, man, other than coaching soccer and watching football.
I hear you. Well, I am definitely going to be watching football because obviously I even forgot teams played. I don't even know who's playing. I've done no research. I've done nothing. This is bare bones. Besides, I did enough research to get 4 plays out because those are my favorite ones, and those are the easy ones to get. But make sure you tune in to justthatsports.com over the weekend. We'll have everything running and gunning up there. We might see a little bit less of Mark on social media and on the site this weekend. But if you have a chance, go over there and send Mark a message on Twitter or whatever you can find him. It'd probably be good to he might not respond to you in 2 days, but eventually, once he gets out of his sleep, his hibernation for a couple of days, he'll be back up running for sure. But that's all we got. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Thank you all for allowing us to be a little bit later this today because I was freaking busy and trying to get in from the beach. And so Robbie was able to do this a little bit later. So we were able to give you 2 men on a show instead of a 1-man show with Robbie.
Y'all don't want that. Yeah, y'all don't want that. I promise.
All right, we'll see you all Sunday night. Tune in. It's probably going to be just me and Rob. Who knows? We'll try to bring somebody else in, but we're keeping Mark away for sure. We're not letting him come on unless he just shows us proof he is fully healthy. But until then, we're going to make sure he gets his rest that he needs. But we'll see you all Sunday night, football halftime, live betting. We're going to do a lot more live betting early on. We'll see you then.